Hey friends, Gary here. Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I will reply to some of your comments and questions. But anyway, first of all, let me say Happy New Year to you all. It's been a great journey in 2025. I hope you are all well, healthy, and safe wherever you are. Enjoy some time with your loved ones. Couple of quick announcements. Don't forget to grab my 2026 calendar. It is available on Patreon. You can either be a Patreon supporter or you can purchase the calendar one time, your choice. But in this calendar, I will feature plenty of photos that I captured from my recent trip from Iceland, Denmark, and Finland. Beautiful, beautiful photos. You can download it as PDF and print it yourself or use it digitally. And next announcement is that don't forget that my travel video course called Simplifying Travel Photography is already out. Also in Patreon, you can either become a member of my Patreon to access that travel video course or purchase it one time as well. And when you get access to that video, you will also be able to get the Simplifying Travel Photography ebook for free included on that package. So make sure you check it out. Anyway, let's start with the first comments. First, there are actually two comments. First is from kamuiatmyrealm, and then second one is from Bubographer, both on my recent vlog in Iceland, in eastern Iceland, where I visited Seyðisfjörður and some other locations. The first comment said, I am feeling the cold from here. Thanks for sharing. The second comment looks very nice there. Yes, East Iceland is kind of underrated in my opinion. I really enjoyed my stay in the Seyðisfjörður town and also exploring little places right there. There are the Stullagil Canyon, very beautiful. It was a little bit crowded, but still beautiful, and you can easily, get some nice pictures there. And then also some little waterfalls near the town of Seyðisfjörður. It's just so beautiful. It's just so peaceful, calm, quiet, and it's, the town is surrounded with mountains and hilly area, and then it's kind of a fjord connecting to the ocean. Very beautiful. I've never seen a beautiful town like that in my entire life, and I really enjoy my stay there. Next comment is from CrispyMcFrankieee. This is the 12-liter, and this comment is on my video of the K&F Concept Alpha Slingback 10-liter. I'm not quite sure if it's the 12-liter because I specifically bought the 10-liter on the website. Maybe now they changed it to 12-liter. I don't really know, but I have another 10-liter bags that feel very similar to the K&F Concept Alpha Sling 10-liter. So I think it was correct, 10-liter. Next comment is from Richard Bixler. That's Mr. Tony Stark. To those who know, in the Micro Four Thirds bokeh photography that I posted last year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I cannot believe I missed this juicy opportunity to call the Iron Man statue Mr. Tony Stark. I think Camera Conspiracy will be proud. Next comment is from Raisin82. The Pana 35-100 kit zoom is tiny. I have the 12-32 kit lens as part of my ETC and I love it, even though my camera bodies are Olympus ones. Better than the Olympus 14-42 kit lens in my opinion. And this is the comment on my most used lenses video. And yeah, the 12-32 is kind of underrated in my opinion. It is sharp, it is contrasty, it is really great as a kit lens. But yeah, it does have a little bit of flaw when it comes to backlit performance, flare and ghosting, that kind of stuff. But it's one of the best kit lens that I ever used. Next comment is from John Greenwood 9247. I will put what he said on the screen right now so you can read it yourself. But there are a couple of points that I wanna reply from this comment. First of all, thank you very much, John, for the comment, for sharing your lenses as well. First of all, 9mm, yes, it is an excellent ultra wide angle lens. So far, it's been my favorite that I ever owned in any format period. It's the best one that I ever have. And 9mm is surprisingly very flexible. It's not the widest, but that's a great thing because that means you can use it for stuff other than the wide angle classic, stuff like that. You can use it for a little bit of product photography. You can use it also a little bit for things like portrait. Environmental portrait still looks good with that lens in particular, and I just enjoy using the 9mm. And then the second point that I wanna call out is the 14mm f2.5. Yes, it is a great lens too. I didn't feature it on this particular video, but I featured it, I think, last year, my most used lenses in 2024, but still an amazing lens, and I agree. It is tiny, it is compact, a moderate wide angle lens, and it is very flexible. You can use it almost for everything. Next comment is from KW-Chalky02. The first two you mentioned are two of my most used. The 9mm f1.7 is a great addition for when needing something wider and faster to complement the 14-140. I also use the 50mm f1.7 a lot. I have many lenses, but if I was told I could only keep one of them, I would certainly choose the 14-140. Brilliant lens for my purposes. Yes, thank you for sharing. And the 14-140 I think is the hidden gem, underrated micro four thirds lens so far. No one really talks about it, but it is such an amazing lens. When I first switched to micro four thirds in 2014, that was the first lens that I bought right away for my Panasonic Lumix GX7 at that time. And my god, suddenly after I got the 14-140, attached it to my GX7, micro four thirds started to make sense. It clicks apart in my brain and I suddenly start to understand micro four thirds, and now micro four thirds is my primary camera system thanks to the 14-140 lens. Next comment is from Muhammad Farzide 780. Fantastic video. I use the 12-50 kit lens for general and all-around photography. It is weather sealed and has macro and some Nikon lens with adapter. Thank you very much for sharing. I am interested to learn more about the 12-50mm. Back then when I switched to micro four thirds, I saw the video by the late David Thorpe about the 12-50mm lens, and it got me thinking, wow, quite an amazing flexible little lens. It can do macro. It is very flexible in terms of focal lengths. Maybe in the future I want to try to find a used one, crossing my fingers, not promising anything right now, but who knows, maybe I can get one in a great condition. Next comment is from NJP2K914. I have only used 3 lenses since I came back to the system last year, and they are the Olympus 17, the Panasonic Leica 25mm f1.4, and the Olympus 45 f1.8, and they are all amazing lenses. I would like to add an affordable super zoom to my collection though, as I have been asked to shoot some sports next year. Yes, first of all, thank you very much for sharing your setup. I think it is so great with the all-prime setup. Olympus 17mm f1.8, Panasonic Leica 25mm f1.4, and the Olympus 45mm f1.8. They are all excellent lenses. I think they are one of the best Holy Trinity setup in terms of prime lens only setup. Now, in regard to the super zoom lens, yes, I have the Panasonic Lumix 14-140, and maybe it'll work well for shooting some sport events, that kind of stuff, but maybe only if it's outdoor during daylight with plenty of available light. If it's indoor in a dimly lit situation, maybe it will struggle. At least that's what my experience so far with the lens, because it doesn't have large aperture, and that's why I still keep my Panasonic Lumix 35-100mm f2.8 for that kind of indoor situation, things like that. But yeah, maybe if you get a chance to get a hands-on experience with the 14-140, maybe visit your local shop and try the lens first. Maybe you can get a better understanding about what the 14-140 can or cannot do. Next comment is from Kisden Bor H8R. You are right, micro four thirds shooters are special Because of the small sensor, we simply have to be better photographers to get great results. I agree 100% with these sentiments. Yes, I remember many years ago a photographer named Zach Arias shared a quote that I really love. A little bit of a healthy restrictions can bring out creativity or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but I still believe that is true even right now. You know, with Micro Four Thirds, our limitation is the sensor size, but then that limitation makes us more creative, trying to find a workaround to get better quality pictures and upping our game in terms of photography skill and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I believe that this is true, and yes, Micro Four Thirds shooters are special. Next comment is from ElmiAuliana, but it is in Indonesian, but basically it translates to the Lumix G100 has really nice video and audio quality. With regards to the audio, you can set it to auto, front, back, surround and tracking, and it is worth every penny. Yes, I also love my G100 as well. It is my favorite travel camera right now. It is the perfect everyday carry camera. It is very capable, and also it is the almost perfect hybrid camera for me as well. It just needs that in-body stabilizer and that new continuous autofocus using the face detect mechanism, and that's it. It'll be the perfect camera for me, period. And regarding to the audio, which you talk a lot in this comment, I don't fully agree 100%. I'm sorry. Because from my experience testing the G100 with its built-in microphone, even though it was able to pick up my voice, it is still not as good quality as a dedicated microphone. Unfortunately, it sounded very tiny and I have to increase a lot of the bass in post-production, and it is just not, you know, convenient. I want a microphone that sounds good right out of the box and I don't need to tweak it too much. But yeah, again, G100 fantastic camera. And that wraps up today's video. So those are all my replies to your comments and questions. Hopefully the answers has been interesting, entertaining, fun and inspiring as well. If you have any more questions or comments, please comment down below or comment on any of my video. I will try my best to answer them. Hopefully you enjoy this format where I reply to your comments in the form of a video, because I think replying to your comments in a video form can help me to explain things a lot better, in my opinion. Let me know in the comment down below. But anyway, thank you so much. Don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to my channel, and if you want to support my work even further, consider becoming a member of my Patreon with the link right here. You can also use the affiliate links down below. Use the super thanks button to make a small donation to my channel. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.